Hi folks, Lee from the Dutchman's Journal. I just completed pickling 8 quarts of dill pickles, and now that my crock is free, I'm going to put it to further use. I'm going to go ahead and make sauerkraut, and I have some selective heads of cabbage that I'm using in order to do this. Well, here we are, Mrs. Wigg's cabbage patch. Alright, I had 39 heads of cabbage. This particular section here got attacked by loopers, and seeing that I did not use any kind of pesticides, kind of caught me by surprise, and you can see the aftermath of their damage. My good friend Mark from IMG Organic in New Jersey has always explained to me that I should use beneficial insects. Well, my beneficial insects never showed up, so the loopers got control of this, and I decided what I would do is salvage it. I put a little Carbaryl or 7 on it to deter them for any more damage, and then I just let it go on its own. Harvested the other cabbage, and this I saved to do my sauerkraut. Now, I'm not a organic gardener by no stretch of the imagination, but I want to show you something. These were grown in leaves. That's all this is, leaf mulch. I just want to show you the roots on these little guys. They go down completely through all of the leaf mulch until they hit the soil or a tree stump underneath. And actually, with all the damage that they suffered, they really fared fairly well. This is all leaf matter here. And it's breaking down. And I did mention my friend Mark from New Jersey Organic, which is a site that I strongly suggest people go to if they're into organic gardening. I'm over here at my prep area, and this is where I will go ahead and clean the cabbage. I'm going to strip off all the bad leaves, which are many, which is all right. I'm going to give, there is no waste. All these extra leaves that I have here, I'm going to give them to my feathered hogs, my chickens, and they will make them into compost for me. Well, folks, as you can see, there's not much left of the little heads of cabbage, but there's enough for us to go ahead and make probably, I'm going to say maybe 2-3 quarts of sauerkraut. Well, this is all that's left of my little cabbage heads. So, first thing I'm going to do is just cut the core out of it. We'll cut this in half, and then remove this core on both sides. Okay, I've removed all of the, didn't remove all of them. There we go. Removed all of the cores. Cores are normally pretty bitter, and they don't make very good sauerkraut. And so the next part of this is to cut these here into the strips. If you can see that, let me open up a space here. Cut this into strips, about 1/4 inch wide. And I have a tub, a nice clean tub. I'm going to throw them in there. And here again, we're going to continue on with this process. Okay, what I have now is my cabbage shredded up to become the sauerkraut. But before I go any further, to this, I want to add some salt, and I'm using just natural sea salt. I don't want to put too much on because I'm not really crazy about over salting things. Just enough, putting enough salt on here to make these things wilt. Have a little taste here. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cover this and let it sit for about half an hour to 40 minutes. Well, 40 minutes has passed. I'm going to remove the cover. There's our cabbage. If you can look at, I don't know if you can see the reflection, but if you notice there is a formation of water crystals on the top. And now what we're going to do is, I got this little device here. You can use your hands to crush this if you wish, but you want to pulverize, the heck? You want to pulverize your cabbage. And by pulverizing it, what's going to happen is you're going to release the waters and the juices from the cabbage, and that's what you need. You need that slurry, which is a brine in itself, to cover over the cabbage in order for it to ferment and become sauerkraut. So this is going to take, I'm going to say maybe another 20 minutes. Now I've been at this for a good 20 minutes, and you can see that we've collected a fair amount of liquid, which will be the brine to cover the kraut. And now what we have to do is take this cabbage from here and put it into the crock. I have my crock here, and I always put it into a plastic milk carton container just to carry it around. It's easier for me to do. And now I'm going to take the cabbage and put it into the crock. And if you can see down in there, I'm going to tamp this, bring the juices up to the top. Because you want the liquid to cover the cabbage. There's just enough here to do that. I guess if you ran a little short on liquid, what you could do is make a little brine, saltwater brine, and add to that. But I have enough liquid. So now the next thing I want to do is, I happen to have, like, pepper taste, so I'm going to add a few peppercorns to this. Not very many, just a few. I don't want to overpower the kraut itself. You can add a number of different vegetables. I've heard of people even putting in turnips, all sorts of things. It is a fermentation process of a vegetable, and you can use it for other vegetables. I have this disc that I made to go over the top of the kraut. Press that down. And now I'm going to take my special brick that I've had to place on top of it and just allow the juices to flow on up. I'm actually pressing the cabbage down and allowing more of the juices to float up to the top. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of saran wrap over the top of this. I'm going to put it into my little area that I have in my shop to store. I'm going to store this for about a week, then I'll come back and sample it. Now, one of the things that you want to check for is before you start eating this is to make sure that you've removed any of the funguses that may have developed on the side. You just remove them with a wooden spoon or something like that. And if you see that the cabbage has turned brown, do not eat brown cabbage. It's kind of like eating yellow snow. You don't want to do either one. Normally means that the cabbage has gone beyond its fermentation process, and it's not good to eat at that time. Well, 9 days has passed, and now it's time to see if our cabbage has turned to sauerkraut. I'm going to pull this out. Open up the lid. Looking inside there, there's no mold or anything like that in there. So next I'll remove the lid. I'll take my favorite brick out first. Set it on the side. And I have a handle for my lid. Well, let's try it. Looks good. Oh yeah, we have sauerkraut. Very good. Excellent. The next step in the process is to remove the sauerkraut from the crock, and I put it into plastic bags, label the date on it. Actually, I put it in 2 plastic bags. I'll put this bag into another bag, and I just put enough in there for a meal. And it's very simple. You just scoop it up, put it inside. Next to the freezer. Well, thank you for watching. Hope you subscribe, and you might want to try this. Have a good day.